Brokaw 219 here, and it's hunting season. People should be doing their food plots. People should be already putting their cameras out, so on and so forth. I'm a little bit far behind just due to work conflict, kids going to college, so on and so forth. So I'm really late to the game, but I am going to get out this week and set up all my stuff. One of the things that I'm going to be using this year is the Bone Collector 370. Now, for reference, I was using the Rocky Mountain 360. That crossbow was okay. And then all of a sudden, I just started having problems with it. I sighted it in. I missed a deer. Came back home. Shot at a target with the same arrow, same broadhead. And it was off. I don't know if I clanked it against a tree stand. You know, that sometimes can mess up your scope. It can do it for firearms too. But I finally dialed it back in and went out the next time. Didn't quite see anything. Came back home and I said, hey, I'm going to give this another shot. I'm going to shoot the target just to see what would have happened if I came across an animal that was worthy of harvesting. Again, it lost 0. Now, what you have to understand with some of these crossbows that are in this kind of package deal is it's not the best optics on the crossbow. Doing some research on this one, the Bone Collector 370, I have seen some videos where the optic has failed. Hopefully that doesn't happen with me, but I've seen a couple of videos already where the optic fails. I haven't shot this yet. I had Sean, the researcher's dad, put it together for me. Unfortunately, I can't show on YouTube how to put things together. I don't know if this falls in YouTube's criteria, but I'm just not going to do it for strike's sake. I don't want to strike for the channel, so on and so forth. I've been warned a couple of times. We just want to swing under the radar. But this, I got this at Dunham's, believe it or not. That's actually somewhere where you can barely shop because everything's overpriced. This I got on a clearance for like $160. It was darn cheap. So I got a good deal on it. I'm going to use this year. I sold a Rocky Mountain crossbow to finish up the deer season to tag out last year. I ended up using a Barnett. That was on loan to me from Sean, the researcher. He just told me, you know, just use this for the rest of the year. He wasn't going to be able to get out and hunt as much. And he's not a huge archery fan. He's more of a gun fan. So he went out during gun season and tried to harvest something. So I used his crossbow for the remainder of the year. In the video of where I shot the doe for research, that was with the Barnett, and that was spot on. That's probably one of the best crossbows I've shot, besides, you know, jumping the ladder, because I can't afford a 10-point or anything else that runs that scale. The Barnett harvested all 3 of my deer. Very satisfied with it. Couldn't quite find one for as good a deal as this, but usually these are pretty decent crossbows for the money, and plus I got it at a steal price. It's 370 feet per second. I'll pan over here and read you some of the little nooks and crannies of the crossbow itself. It's a 4x32 scope, high definition visibility, dead silent kit, noise and vibration reduction. I have seen in other videos where it's pretty loud, so I don't know how that's going to go for my crossbow. I treat crossbows just like I treat guns. Every gun is different. It's not what you think. A ready to hunt kit, so that comes basically with some wax, a quiver, and your string to draw the bow back. And then they end up giving you premium crossbows, the hypers. I've used those. I used one to harvest my buck with, where it flew steady and it was a through and through shot. So hypers are pretty nice. They're expensive, I will say that. You can get some with the lighted nocks built in, or you can just get ones with regular nocks in there. The ones with the lighted nocks, they're very, very expensive. You're looking around $50 for a pack of those, and I think you only get 3 bolts in it. They are 20-inch, so keep that in mind. I have shot 22 inches off of crossbows, but you should really shoot what it's designed to shoot, which this one is designed to shoot 20-inch. That way you can really, get your accuracy out of the crossbow, and you don't have any kind of conflict with that kind of things that could happen with your arrow as it leaves the chute, so to speak. So always keep that in mind. It's really nice out of the box. We put it together. I'm going to shoot it here this weekend. It's got a lifetime warranty, so you could probably call up Killer Instinct and have something replaced if it needs to be replaced. Let me go through a little bit more specs for you. So they're calling for precision accuracy, premium glass, 4x32 crossbow scope for extreme precision and downrange accuracy, a lightweight frame, ultralight composite stock is comfortable and easy to handle, and the last thing is the quiet performance. Integrated dead silent kit reduces vibration and noise and maximum strength. What I've noticed with a lot of crossbows is it can be loud, that can spook deer, and we'll get into that as we start to really get towards the 2023 hunting season. And what I've learned from not only hunters in my area, but watched across the internet of some really distinguished hunters, not some of those guys that just want to make $1 out of 15-cent people. So I'll show you some of that. But we're going to get into this as I show you it out of the package. So here it is out of the package. As you can see, we've got the sight mounted, and it's got like an aluminum rail up here to put your sight on. Down here we have the quiver. It just detaches or attaches up underneath right at the front of the crossbow where you can put your bolts. Again, these did not come with the lighted knock system right here. As you can see on this one here, it doesn't have the lighted knock. So keep that in mind. I do have some Hyper 20 inches with lighted knocks that I'm also going to put through this crossbow just to make sure that those bolts will work with this specific crossbow. Here's their dampening system, their quiet system as they call it, for reduced noise. The stirrup is on the end. If I can move the crossbow and not knock stuff over. The stirrup is in the end. That's where you put your foot. And then you put your cocking rope through the designated area. As it tells you here, this is the cocking rope cocking groove. So make sure you put that through there and then put it on your string. Pull up to set your crossbow. It's pretty light for the most part. It's really lighter than the Rocky Mountain 360. Better ergonomics on this one than that crossbow. I mean, in general, this thing is really made well. For being made out of some kind of polymer, it's really light. You have this little pad here, but it's not technically a pad. It's just got some cutouts in the polymer. Might put a little bit of tape on that for a little bit of recoil that I'll get from this, because I'm going to shoot it a little bit more than what I would do with some of the other crossbows I've owned, because I've used those for years on end. This is going to be my first year shooting this one, so I want to make sure pretty much everything is in line and intact. And my shoulder is going to get a tad bit sore. I did tear my rotator cuff a long time ago, and it never really healed right. So shooting, whether it be firearms or crossbows, it kind of gets to me after a while. But all in all, it looks pretty good. It looks sturdy. We did put some goo on the rail, and we did put some on the string itself, so it's ready to go. Always remember to properly lube your rail system here, because that's what the bolt is going to travel down. They call it the barrel. Your bolt's going to travel down through that, so you want that thing to come off nice, smooth, and easy and straight. So follow your directions in your manual while you're using this or about to use it. Remember, keep your hands out of this area here, because the string is going to glide down there. Always keep your hand down here. That's why they have these little guards here. So, I mean, crossbows can be dangerous. They're not toys. So keep that in mind. Be safe with it. I'm going to shoot this in the next few days after I actually set up my hunting spot, because I might have to move my tree stand a little bit to a better angle. Hopefully I can find a tree. I haven't been back there since last hunting season. A lot of storms have come through. I don't know how much I have to clear. I don't know how many branches are down, or actually how many trees are down as well. So I'm going to be walking into a unknown environment at this point of the season. So hopefully we can get all that mess straightened out, and then I can come back here and put a couple of arrows a day into the bag and see where it is. I highly recommend, when you use higher velocity crossbows, feet per second crossbows, this is 370, get a blocker or bag that's rated for it. If not, you're gonna be chasing your arrows down. That Barnett that I was shooting, a couple of times I shot that at the bag and it went right through the bag. So that one had a lot of feet per second coming off the barrel. So keep that in mind, or you're gonna be chasing arrows down and possibly breaking them at times. So be aware of that. So we're going to go out. We're going to give this thing a shot. Hopefully it runs well. From some of the videos I've seen, I have a little bit of concern with the optic. They can sit there and print anything they want on a bag, but that's one of the biggest things that happened with that Rocky Mountain crossbow, and it looks just like this optic that's on here. I'm hoping it's not, where that one would not hold zero at all. After the first shot or two, it would start to lose zero. Again, I did miss a deer with it, so I had to go back and revert to either putting a different optic on that or going to a whole different setup that I wasn't quite used to. So keep all this stuff in mind. Again, I apologize that I can't show you how to put it together. It's pretty simple. The biggest thing to worry about, and I'll show you here in a couple seconds. So basically, in a nutshell, I hope this is going to be something that's going to last a lifetime of hunting for the most part, until I can get up enough money and get some of the higher end crossbows. I like some of the 10 points that are out there. Those are really, really nice. I just can't afford it. So hopefully we'll take this out. We'll shoot some arrows through it, or some bolts through it, whatever you want to call them. And I have some Carbon Express 20 inchers that I'm going to put through this, just to see if it, is more accurate with something. Just remember, when you're putting broadheads on there, it might act a little bit different than the field tips, so always keep that in mind. And we'll see how this thing does. I like to thank my old and my new subscribers, and just the people that zip through. I greatly do appreciate it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. One more tip before we leave. If you're looking for a new crossbow, and you can get through the hunting season, and you want to really catch a deal at the end of every hunting season, usually these places will let this stuff go for cheap, like I got this crossbow for. So always keep your eye out at the end of the hunting season. And like always, we'll catch you on the next one in this year of 2023 deer hunting.